In the last video, you saw the stacking up of pots I've got here for an upcoming show. Okay, Slovene Fest with the Slovenian Monster and the polka pots. So I have everything I need for the show now. What do? Last minute, make some pieces just to suit myself. Okay, a souring milk pitcher. I don't know what that is. It's spoutless, Slovenian form. A keep it cool jug. Okay, you know, I think the new ones I've seen are only made as decorative, and they've kept the shape and the form, but they're no longer putting in it whatever that special thing is that keeps the water cool. So some more research needs to be done on that. In today's video, and you know, in past 100 years or so, they've done a lot of majolica with a very elaborately shaped pitcher, but once again sold, I think, more for decorative purposes, so not maybe a real traditional form and shape. In today's video, some odd clips of trimming the pots, of slipping them, combing, sgraffito, some slip trailing, bit of everything. Not sure how it'll fit together. Let's see what's going on in the studio today. And now, in this little run of a few of this and that odd little Slovenian pots, I put the beaded foot, which is something I don't normally do, a trick, but now how do we do these? How do we put the bottle jug on the wheel to prune the bottom? How about this? We use a mug as a chuck for trimming or pruning or trimming the bottom. So this was way too tricky on the simple shapes to show you how to do this. So now that we're doing it on a chuck, I'll show you how I did how I'm doing the hard one. Okay, and just being very gentle about it. It's fairly wet too. I think a lot of people let the pots get way too hard before trimming them. Okay, I'm glad this is going smoothly enough. I'm leaving actually the beaded foot a lot more thicker and bigger than I had planned. I'll have to look at some of the old pieces and see how others have done it. Handles. It's so easy. I'm so used to doing it on rows and rows of mugs. But on these, it is a different story. For Slovene Fest, I wanted to make a handful of pots that I've seen in images of Slovenian pottery. So I'm just making a few. I'm comfortable with the board of mugs all the same. But when we come to just a handful of different shapes, it's okay already out of my element. And feeling, uncomfortable about it. This is a handleless pitcher, from what I could tell, that maybe would see as a wine carafe, which would often be without a handle. But I've seen this listed as a souring milk pitcher. Okay, in my handles, I roll out a coil shaped like a carrot, and then flatten it. It is pulled off the side, and then attach it very gently, very slowly, shaped like a carrot and flattened, so it's wider down there, allowing me to push it on real nice, making sure that this doesn't sag down, coming straight out off the pot. On the top, I give it one good push in the center and a smear up, And then I do the same thing on both sides. But on the bottom, it's completely smooth and round the whole way across. And then on the sides, I usually do a V between two fingers, pushing it on, and then round it off, okay, with my thumb. And then the same on the other side. And then at about that point, finally, it is, okay, well secured to the pot. So we are ready for the pull part. Dipping it in water, hand wet as well. I want it to be thickest up at the top, so I do the pulling down here. And I think this is not, on a mug, I know. Still some more pushes into the pot and rounding off the V's on the side. The mugs, you know, aboard, they're all the same. I'm so used to doing it. I think I have way more length on this than I need. And I like my handles to be thicker in the center. It's so much easier to make them thin in the center. So I pull down one side and then down the other, trying not to pull the center part. And then you never turn this that way to, okay, rounding off the bottom again, or you get a sag in the handle, pulling this up like this, okay, till we get the right shape that I've seen in the souring milk pitchers. I've even seen a Slovenian name for it. I think I've given you that in the past. Maybe I'll put it in the comments. So I cut some off, pushing it on firmly into the pot. And then the same here, now giving it the dovetail thing with now a push in and a smear down. And the dovetail doesn't just smear it out. It's a push into the center to firmly attach it and out. And then the same over here. I have been putting this part off for weeks. These have been at least a week. These have been covered. It's been a couple weeks. That I got the potica pans done, I got the EIO pots done, I got the stuff I knew I needed to sell. And now it's a handful of pieces just to make me happy. So I'm not sure how we'll decorate them then. This is the nicest one. Usually it goes the other way when you're watching. And you see the one that I'm not pleased with. I guess I was able to forget you were there and totally concentrate. Okay, so we'll see now if I can get one on the jug. You saw me trim that. And the handle on the jug. Okay, I don't really understand the jug. I've seen it listed as a putra. I've seen it listed as a water, keep the water cool jug. I've seen it glazed, so it's not like the Batijo. I've seen it with this and looking like there was some kind of opening through the handle. So I haven't been able to completely find out that much information on it. Okay, and this. 2 handles. You didn't see me do that. You're not going to. I haven't seen anybody else do that either to get them to look like they belong. Well, okay. Fitch McAndrews pottery, putting maybe 20 handles around a jug or a drinking vessel. Well, that's way beyond me. Slipped and decorated, yet to come. Will I get them done in time? Okay, there is a deadline. We will see what happens. Okay, and we do have a bead around the foot to grab onto to dip it in the slip. Another uneasy part of this process is that I had to mix up a new batch of slip. I was out. So I think it's still too thick. I've been adding water, but actually being too thick, it doesn't seem to be dripping. That I can turn it right side up an awful lot faster. But for sgraffito, it might be a lot to carve through. And then what do? Well, maybe we will comb on the lines, but what do you do when you get to all this odd shape? Okay, it is like riding snowboard. You have just got to follow. Oh no, it slipped the pot. Follow the terrain. Okay, we did it. And then what do we do up here? Maybe we better start way over there on the other side of the handle so we can meet up. Okay, and then down here is a lot easier. Alright. Now we will do the handle marks. Wonder what happens if we do the tulip that I've done so many times as a comb through. Will it work? As opposed to sgraffito? Well, we will find out. We will start right below the spout and work out both ways from there. Already it's not balanced. Okay, but that is the charm of it. We'll just stretch the next one further on this side and hold back on that one. So we need to get maybe 2 more in here before we come to the handle. Probably be better to work this out ahead of time. Okay, new design. One we've never done before. And I guess no 2 tulips are alike. Just like snowflakes. So it's all wrong. There's too much space down here. How do we fix that? Well, maybe we will just do another line. All right. Not sure what keeps this on the pot. It's not gravity. I think it must be magic. Okay, so ready for the show with my Slovenian Potter t-shirt. A day, okay, baking the potica, setting up the photo shoot, waiting for the light to change. But what's this? They put the Slovenian Potter across the photo. Should have been up here. Oh. Okay, getting tight on getting these pieces fired for the show. See if I make it. Stop back and see what's going on in the studio next week.